this thing works. Unable to connect to chat. Please try again later. What's going on here? Okay, what the hell? Reload? Let's see what happened there. So, let's see. That's what are you talking about? Yeah, I get that, but I don't believe you. What is all this business? Oops. I did not mean to do that. Is anybody here? Am I talking to myself? Are you kidding me? Properties, let's see. Sorry, guys, I have some weird technical issues going on here. Give me 1 second. It keeps telling me that the stream's bitrate is too high, but the video resolution is too low. Let me see if I can change that real quick. And you want it to be lower. Using a stream bitrate of 100, 1,000. Really? Okay. All right. Do I have anybody in here? Because if not, I'm just going to sit here and drink whiskey. This is the weirdest thing. How am I not showing as live? All right. Hey, is anybody in here right now? I I'm getting really weird warning messages from YouTube. Hmm. I don't know what's going on here. Like, it seems like there's more window that I'm missing. What is that? What is going on? Got it. Got it. Mm. Okay. So I'm like, I can't tell if anybody can see this or not. To be perfectly honest with you, because I can see myself in the app, but I can't see. I'm like super delayed in the YouTube window, and it's giving me like it's just throwing up errors. Mm. Here, subscriptions. Wow, that's not showing up at all, is it? All right. Oh, well, that would be why. Shit. Ah, hold on. Go to freaking. I gotta change that. What in the hell? There we go. Okay, save. Okay. Aha. Look, there's people. Somehow the video was listed as private. So I was the only one that could see it, which made it look really weird because, like, if I went in and looked, it was live streaming, it was going, but I was the only one viewing it, which I made me a little sad. What's up, Pierce? How are we doing? The weekend is upon us, and so's the whiskey. Chad, what? Hey, so does the video look okay? I'm getting all these weird warnings from YouTube that say like the check the resolution, and earlier I was told my bitrate was too fast and I had to turn it down. Falco, that freaks me out a little bit. What's up, doggo? The weekend has begun. Uh, for you guys at least. Actually, this is my weekend too. I'm totally down. Not much, Chad. Just chilling. Got notice today. Our office has to work from home. Dude, sweet doggo. Is that cool for you? I mean, I know some people like I love working from home, obviously, but see, I don't understand that. I don't know why that's doing that. Let me try this again. Like when I come in here and set my video rate to high, I don't know if it's YouTube that's throttling it. It keeps telling me that the bit rate is, or not the bit rate, the resolution is wonky. I'm using shit. You would ask me that. OBS, whatever that is. Um, let's see, little grainy compared to, yeah. See, and I don't know because like when I look at my software is like smoking. So I think it's YouTube is being weird. I don't know. Let's see. What's the trick with trying the wood without burning too much? So you can use the nylon brush. Pierce, it's really hard to burn something too much. I mean, like I've set shit on. Excuse me, I've set things on fire and still had them turn out great. You know. So the thing is, you just want to get through that first layer when you're burning on a. It should be doggo. When you're burning on that 4x4 like that, you can't burn it too much. Oh well, at least we're all good on Australia. That's awesome. What time's it on Australia? It's like 8 in the morning, isn't it? Let's see. Mike, what's happening, man? Yeah, Doggo earlier it told me that I had to throttle back to throttle my bitrate back to one like 1000 kb. Like I had it was higher, and it it told me to throttle it back. I don't know what's going on. I'll jump it back up though and see if that does anything. If I can remember how to do it. Okay. Because I think it was like 2500 or something, and it was like, no, don't do that. 250 0. Okay. Let's see if that helps. Um, Yeah, see, Doggo, like we had work from home when I had like a desk job. We had work from home like once a week, and some people were like, "I don't want to work from home." I'm like, "You're fucking nuts." So wait a second. What is Streamlabs? Is Streamlabs something you got to pay for? We probably do, Doggo. So the thing was, I used this the first time I did a live stream, and then the second live stream I did, there was some sort of glitch with the new version of Mac OS. So I had to like jump into something different. And when I jumped into something different, I could use that once, and then it was like I think I got 30 days free, and then I was gonna have to pay for it. So then I jumped back to OBS. So I know nothing about any of this stuff. All right. Okay, I'm not gonna mess with it anymore. All right, we'll get it, man. We can sit back and do it. Jeff, it's totally cool because apparently I had the video set to private for about the first 10 minutes, and I was getting really sad because nobody was here. Barn doors. Let's make some coasters. The coasters are, man, I tell you what, there is, okay, so the guy that I shout out in the video, I don't know if he's getting this, but he has an Etsy store where he's selling 4 of those coasters for I think $50. I'm like, man, if you're selling 4 of those coasters for $50, you're making a killing off of 6 foot 4x4 or 8 foot 4x4. I think it's 6 foot. It's not even 8 foot. Yeah, sure thing, Chris. I'm still working on the black end, Aggie. It's this stuff is delicious, by the way. This is the if I can turn it right. Um, this is the whiskey that Metallica had something to do with. Metallica's name is on it, and it's delicious. All right, yeah, Doggo, we'll get on it. I really need to get my live stream game down. Like I feel like this is a mess. I don't know like how many of you guys live stream or if you do, but I feel, I feel like I'm swimming in cables right now. It's just it's ridiculous. I've got because I just I put all this stuff up, and this is like the mic I use for our podcast, but I podcast from the other side of the desk, and so it's over there. It's just like it's a mess. I got to figure something out. Also, my camera's not in an ideal place. I feel like I'm never looking at the camera because I'm always trying to read the comments and whatnot. Excuse me. I don't know if he is selling them for that much. I mean, honestly, he does really good work. Like if you look on Etsy, you can find some that are cheaper, but they're not nearly as good a quality. But man, I tell you what, if you can find enough clientele to pay you $50 for a set of 4 coasters, or even 8 for that fucking matter, right on. Good on you. I mean, good God. Because you could crank those out. I mean, I did 24 or something in an hour. Well, I mean more than that, but like the burning and cutting and whatnot, and like getting them prepped for finish probably took me an hour. I feel like I want to make my stream thing bigger. I can't see you guys. Let's go like this. All right, tell me if the video gets really wonky. Aside from me looking around, I'm trying to make this window bigger. All right, TJ, thank you, brother, and welcome. Did you just get here? Yeah, TJ, man. You know, like I've said a million times, I think some people edit out the mistakes just to make their videos shorter. And so you'll see my videos will be a little bit longer for kind of seems like no reason. But it's because you leave that stuff in there. Anytime I talk to the camera, it adds like, a minute or two. And that's the reason a lot of people do voiceovers, and I just refuse to do the voiceover. I may change my tune at some point, but right now, I just like I really like to feel like looking over my shoulder and like you guys are hanging out. Made some customers pound. Let's see. The 4x4 died some. Nice, Derek. Let's see, Chad. I think I was doing a 1/2 inch. I was doing them a little thinner. Just because originally when I was doing them, I wanted to be able to cast them into a mold that I could pour epoxy in. And I was doing them thinner, and doing them thinner, I literally I would heat it up, I would brush it, I would cut it, and you could watch the coaster curl up on the edges because it was too thin. So that 1/2 inch is like a good place to be where it doesn't like it doesn't like I had one or two go wonky on me, but like before that, it was like every every freaking one. Let's see. Derek, yeah, dude, that die is amazing. I'm in love with that die. There's 2 things I'm using from here on out, and it's that folk art ultra excuse me, that folk art ultra die and Total Boat Halcyon varnish, because both of those are amazing. Let's see, Falco, what are you saying? When I make Michael, they sell bundles. Oh, wow. What's up, Danny? TJ, and that's kind of the thing, man. Like, I'm definitely not. Holy Nico. Oh wait, different Nico. Okay, what's up, Nico? Sorry, I thought you were I thought you were the other Nico, and I was like, you always bitch about not ever being able to make it. Uh, TJ, that's kind of the thing, man. Like, I'm not the best. I'm not the best craftsman in the world. I can't afford to be. I have to have some personality behind it. Let's see. Pierce, yes. But I will tell you a better way to do it. Instead of making it as wood filler, the easier way is to just literally put glue in whatever you're trying to fill and take a bunch of sawdust, dump it on top there, and just like rub it in. That works much better. Well, Jeff, let's be clear. I don't I don't show all the mistakes. Let's see. Yeah, Derek, man, it stuff was like a $1.95 a bottle or something here. And so check this out. This cracks me up. I went to a Michael's here because I've hit several, and I walked in and I had like 3 or 4 bottles, and I walked up to the counter, and the checker was like, "Did you hear about this? It's like there's some guy on the internet telling everybody to come in here and buy this stuff." I was like, yeah, I've heard of him. Pizza oven. Uh Nico, that's you're like outside of my wheelhouse on everything there. But I do want to make one of those little pizza dealies. I don't know what they call them, but like the little thing that you get the pizza out of the oven with. Tongue and groove. Mm. TJ, I'm always scoping out new tools. It's just that I have to be able to afford to buy them. I really, I need Pierce. I think it's on sale until. I mean, I think it's on clearance. They told me that once it's gone, it's gone. So, you can still get it online. It's just a little bit more expensive. Thanks, Mike. Um, there is. Oh man, somebody told me about it. And it might have been Mike actually. Um, there is a place online because so I linked to it on Amazon because that was the only place I could find. Like, I just wanted you to be able to see it. Uh, Pizza Paddle. Oh, well, the Pizza Peel. That's what it is. Thanks, Nico. Chad, liar. Um, let's see. So it's super expensive on Amazon. It's like $10 a bottle, and there is a place called like Plaid something or another online that has it for like $4. So once it's gone from Michael's, you can still pick it up there. I hope. Because I will absolutely buy a, a literal fuck ton of that. Work at MOD. Yeah, but Falco, it's different when you make one. Yeah, Derek, man, I you pour that green out into a cup, and it looks like it's going to be amazing, and then you put it on, and it goes a lot lighter. So I want it to be that toxic green chemical color, but it's not it's not quite there. I do want to do just like a test piece where I like literally like hit it with like 4 or 5 coats of dye and see how that does. Uh, I'm gonna go DZI, or I'll just go 666. It's called Folk Art Ultra Dye. I used it on the IKEA hack that I did in the art piece. Actually, pretty much anything moving forward, I've been using. um, and it's amazing because any other wood dye I've used, you have to like cut it ratio wise, and this stuff comes straight out of the bottle and it's ready to go. Pierce is so when I go like when I've been in the stores, it's with like the craft paints. Um, I went to one place though where it was like literally they just had like a separate clearance section and it was over there. Um, yeah, Derek. Oh yeah, it's ridiculously more expensive on Amazon, but there's another deal. There's another website where I think it's like $3 or $4. Anyway, honestly, like when everybody runs out of it and I still need to go buy more, I will pay the $9 for it because of the ease of use. What's up, Paul? How's it going, Mr. Lytle? Mike, I'm about to. I'm about to like I live in Houston, man. We got a bunch of Michaels here and I'm about to just go hit them all. Let's see. Joe, any fakes from Amazon? I have only been using the Dyco brushes. So, like, I ordered them once and I just order them from the same company. I did have somebody point out to me that they do make one for an angle grinder. So, I bought one of those. Those are a lot more expensive, but um, it is it is not the most comfortable thing in the world to hold your drill sideways to take that off. So if it works better on the angle grinder, it'll be like worth the extra money. Okay. Yeah, DZ, it's freaking amazing. So Chad, do you have it right now? I'm doing a project. Which, since y'all are here, I'll tell you. It's just a bottle. Like I'm making bottle openers, like the ones you hang on the wall that like has got a little bottle opener deal. Check this out, by the way. So this is going to be the bottle opener that is. I can't see my camera anymore, so I don't know if you can see that. This is the bottle opener that's going to be on there. But when I use the blue, it turns out like super purple. So I don't know if you're using a different color or what's up. What's up, Addie? All right, guys. So I'm gonna feel free to ask questions as you go. I'm gonna hit the questions that were sent in too because I know some people aren't here and they sent in questions. So um yeah. So yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty proud of that one. I honestly didn't think it was gonna be that big. I really thought it was going to be about half that size. And I got it off Amazon, and I need to go check and see how much I paid for it because sometimes I buy shit and don't like look at the price tag. But I mean, look at that. There, get a little light on it. But I will make all of the. So I made 3 different colors, and then I posted them to vote on. Some of you guys probably saw that. But I decided to go ahead and I bought 2 like of the regular. Open this up. Okay, I didn't think it was gonna be that difficult. I bought 2 of the regular kind of bottle opener dealies. That's so weird. I can't see my camera. And I'm just gonna do the other 2 like that. And then I think what I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna give them away. I think I'm gonna do probably a giveaway on Instagram. I haven't decided exactly how I'm gonna do it. I hate doing giveaways, and I don't want to do anything that's. What's up, Celine? We're just gonna say Celine. Celine IB. How's that? So I think what I'm gonna do is do like a really simple, easy giveaway on like Instagram. But I'll post it on all social media. But I think basically it's just gonna be like something like follow me on Instagram, or comment on a post or something like that. I'm not trying to get more followers out of it or anything like that. It is way more just something for like the fans if they want one. Comment. I'll do a random generator thingy and then I'll send you one. Let's see. So Joe, like, did they not say like I don't know, like the ones that I posted? If you follow the link for mine, is that what you followed? Because the ones I get, I can't say that I've ever checked the packaging to see if it says made in China, but they work pretty good. I mean, they're not trash. But let me know if the ones that I'm posting say they're made in USA, but they're not, because that will make me a little angry. Oh, I could see that, Chad. I could totally see that. Don't hurt yourself, Celine. Come on now. No, 699. Plaid Online, Derek. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, Plaid Online. I knew it was Plaid something. All right, guys, but keep up with the questions. I'm gonna answer some questions that were sent in on shit everywhere. If I miss a question that you asked, please post it because I did that little questiony thing on Instagram and didn't realize that after 24 hours, you can't see the answers anymore. So, okay, I'm lying. I think you can go back and do that, but like I lost some questions. I'm pretty sure I lost some questions. All right, but let's see. The first question I have on here is, what are long-term goals for the channel? Um, and that's a weird one to answer, and here's why. What I really like doing is making art pieces out of wood and fire, but people are more likely to want to watch me build practical things for the most part. I mean, you get a tip and trick occasionally out of something, something that I do, like the art piece or whatnot. But I don't think I could survive on art pieces alone. So right now, the game plan is to kind of stick to. I'm going to build a thing. I'm going to build, like, I'll probably do an art piece. I'll probably do a tutorial piece, and then I will probably build something a little bit more off the wall. So, not necessarily always in that order. It kind of depends on some sponsorships and stuff that I have coming up. Or I guess I should say affiliates. But my goal is to, like, I don't want to build. So I have a deal with a mattress company. They're going to send me out a couple of mattresses because I need 2 for the twins and need 1 for the guest room. And so they're going to send me 3 mattresses. But I was like, don't send them all to me at once because I don't want to be the guy that builds beds, right? So they're going to send me 1 mattress. I'm going to build a bed, and then I'm going to build some other stuff, and then I'll build another bed, and then I'll build some other stuff and build a bed. But that being said, I mean, the future of the channel, like, really depends on you guys. I mean, like, to a certain degree, I build things that we need around the house, or that my wife wants, or somebody's asking me for. But to a certain degree, I also listen to what you guys want and what you guys are asking for. I mean, ask Mike. Mike hit me up and asked me if I'd ever used a particular kind of dye, and I hadn't. And honestly, I was planning on I went and picked it up because I was going to do a video on it. Like a future video on it, and then I really needed it for the art project because the art project, the dye that I used just totally didn't work. So I mean, it was like saving grace, but he also got, like, his test out of it too, right? Let's see. Yeah, you're right, Chad. Coronavirus is taking everything away. Okay, so check this out. So Chad is not he's not completely wrong on this. If you've seen, there's a couple of videos going around right now where people are demoing an Arbortech angle grinder, like their own brand. And if you don't know this, Arbortech doesn't, up until this, hasn't really made like a grinder or like a die grinder. Like, they make the stuff that goes in it. So I contacted Arbortech, and I'm like, whoa, like, I just saw this grinder. I'm like, you guys make grinders now? He's like, yeah, we are. They're available in Europe, but they've been delayed in the States. And he's like, you're not going to believe this. So the reason they're delayed is because of the coronavirus. So have that. Let's see. Build a thing is always a technical term, Derek. Let's see. So TJ, I don't want to give up the art videos. Like, honestly, like, sometimes when I just sit down and get the get the grind of shits out of something, it's a little bit therapeutic for me too, right? But I even at Workbench Con, one of the guys said that he really likes to do, like, art pieces, and he's like, they just don't do well on YouTube. And the thing is, like, it's that kind of thing that has a smaller following. Like, if I do an art piece, I get a lot more comments, and a lot more people are really interested in it. Well, I say a lot more. I get a lot more comments, but I get a lot less views, and I get a lot more people that are interested in it. But it's a smaller group of people, I guess. And honestly, like, at some point in time, I got to pay the bills. So I mean, as much as I would love to just, like, it would be awesome. I mean, ask Doggo. It would be awesome to do just exactly what you wanted, right? I mean, like, everybody thinks that that's what I do. And I'm like, I would love to. And like, you know what? I'm doing something I really enjoy, but I'm not always doing the thing that I really want to, And honestly, some of that is just to pay the bills. Let's see. Patriot, I am. I've only answered one so far. Let's see. I think if you sell them. So TJ, that is a consideration. The thing is, so it kind of goes along the same lines as building like furniture. Like, let's say I built this really cool chair. Look, well, I can make like one, maybe two videos on that, maybe three if I stretch it out. But eventually, that video is kind of old and stale. So, doing an art piece, unless I'm doing like drastically different art pieces a lot, it's not a lot of it's not content heavy for me. And the art pieces, like, while they take a little less time, they still take quite a bit of time to do. So if I was selling them and I was selling for a lot of money, that'd be great. But my content would suffer on the side of that. So, just one of those things. Let's see. They sell them. Pierce, do you mean on? Do you mean in here? I don't have any. I don't have any mods. I haven't needed anybody yet. But like if you're down and you want to like do something like that, drop me an email at nick@builddadbuild.com and we can set something up. We need to make a still online. So basically, you want me to you you want me to show you how to make your own booze online. Let's see one thing I can tell you. Doggo, I know people get upset, and and honestly, to a certain degree, I mean, I want to make I want to make the majority of people happy. I know I'm never going to make everybody happy, but I see like a stark difference between like an art piece and like a desk. So we'll see. And honestly, if it really starts to um if it really starts to like because listen, I'm gonna do more art pieces, like it's on the board. So if I start doing art pieces and they take off, then hey man, yeah, absolutely. Patreon, I don't think so. Like the let's see, it was not. I do not believe it was your question. Let's see. Yeah, into. I mean, yeah. Honestly, I took so into said comments are okay. I'm sorry, I misread that. Yes. um, the art pieces will happen regardless, guys. What's up, Fred? I have to run up my 5-year-old for bed. Fred, I totally understand. I just put my twin 3.5 year olds to bed. Kevin, that is that really stark white is a pigmented stain called sun bleached, uh, which is the one I've had the best luck with, just like that white color. Anything else, especially with a char, turns gray. So Mike, you don't. The easiest. So two things. When you're burning wood, always keep a little spray bottle handy and make sure to keep spraying it down with water. That will lessen your warp. Um, but depending on the board, like you can't always completely control the board. You can't completely control the warp. Uh, what you can do to mitigate a lot of that, excuse me, excuse me, is turn the board over and heat the other side. Excuse me, I'm dying over here. Um, and to a certain degree, it will bend back. Just know that, like, if you're gonna burn a bunch of boards, some of them are gonna warp. And I mean, unless like you're legit gonna like route a channel in the back of it and put some sort of like metal C channel in there, you're gonna have some warping here and there. Yes, into cable, I do. I think I missed something. Let's see. Comment show more hardcore following. Yes. All right, into. I might think about it. Yeah, Pierce. I mean, like I said, if you guys are interested, drop me a line. And yes, yeah, Chad is correct. Um, yeah. See, you guys are on this. So I think Jeff, are you in Discord? If you guys aren't on Discord, the guys that are like talking amongst yourselves, you might want to check out Discord because that is what we do. Um, and we have other people that are in there doing this kind of the same thing that discuss back and forth. Let's see, Derek. It depends on how fast you wipe it off. Um, with the white, what I've found, if you really want to have that stark contrast with the black, is apply, wipe it off, apply, wipe it off, like, and just do very small sections and try to get the like. A lot of times, I'll even try to not put the white like directly on the black grain if I can avoid it. And then just don't let it sit on there very long because that pigment's just going to take. TJ, I would love to do it, but it scares the hell out of me because that stuff will stop your heart. Um, what's up? How's your name? Dallas Koger, and you're from Pittsburgh. What's going on, man? Oh, Dallas is your first name, isn't it? Okay, my bad. I live in Texas. I just said Dallas. It was throwing me off. Derek is correct. You know I am. Well, but and to think about it, like when you like the reason the board warps in the first place is because you're superheating it and rapidly removing all the water from it. That's the reason it warps. So if you keep it wet, it mitigates that to a certain degree. Okay, I'm doing another question. You guys talk amongst yourselves. There's a whole conversation going on. Let's see. So somebody asked what editing software I use and what music. I use Adobe Premiere Pro. Before that, I used iMovie and it was fine. I think I probably overcomplicated things by getting into Adobe sooner than I really needed to. But I wanted the extra. There's just a couple of things that you can do in Adobe that you can't do in iMovie. And for like average Joe, I want to make like a quick little video. You probably don't need that stuff. And even after the fact, I did find out that some of the stuff I thought you couldn't do in iMovie, you can. So I don't know. I already had a Adobe license for all all their stuff. So I figured why not use it? But I would think that if you didn't already have that license, if you weren't using Photoshop and Illustrator, which is what I was already doing, and then I started using Audition when we started doing the podcast, I I would be totally fine using iMovie. Uh, all of my music, well, I shouldn't say all of my music. 95% of my music comes from AmpleTunes.com. They are, and then I just donate money to them on Patreon. But they literally like made a bunch of music, and they're like, we wanted to make this free for content creators. So that's what I use for that. And let's see. Oh, and then any other music that I use is the free YouTube music. The Milox white pigment. I don't know if I know what that is, Derek. Milox? Derek, yes. Derek, yes again. Oh, doggo. I'm learning Premiere, baby. Not very well. Although, if you watch the last video, I've been working on some better transitions. Not a pound 2x4 is it? So, Matt, did you do like a bentwood lamination for that, or did you like make wood bricks? That sounds interesting. Thanks, Ed. I appreciate it. You're new to burning shit. I love burning things. So people ask me a lot of times why I burn so many things, and the thing is, like, I really the aftermath is what I love. If you guys have like really burnt the crap out of a piece of wood and then scraped all that char off and felt the wood grain that comes after that, it's amazing. All right, TJ. Hey, man, appreciate it. Love you, brother. Um, so people ask me, like, about the desk, and they're like, well, can you write on it? And I'm like, one, I can't remember the last time I didn't use a like pad of paper when I wrote, but like I will molest this desk. Like I love the way it feels. It's just amazing. Oh, Derek. So is that the? Oh wait. Is that General Finishes or is Mixol a different company? I'm only familiar with the General Finishes they have at Rockler. And Chad just totally lost me. Oh, you're talking to somebody else. Right, brother style. Love it. Um, yeah, DZ. No kidding. But I don't know if Paul is still here. Paul and I used to work together, and I said in the beginning of this whole thing, I was like, I don't know if I want to burn every project. Like, I just don't want to be known as the guy that burns stuff. And his response was, "There's worse things to be known as than the guy that burns stuff on the internet." And I'm like, okay, perspective taken. So Ed, I'm going to talk about that in just a second. Actually, you know what, Doggo? We are going to talk about this right now because Doggo asked this question and I have to answer it for him. So Doggo's question was, what the heck is Total Boat Halcyon Clear? Is it a clear coat with epoxy in it? Shiny finish, matte finish? Maybe do a video on this one, blah, blah, blah. We don't need to get into the rest of what he's saying, but here's the deal. It is my go-to finish for several reasons, but Total Boat is so they started out like doing boat products. So when I say it's Total Boat varnish, that's the varnish that you would put on a boat that would go in the water. And it is UV resistant. So it is. I mean, it's not impregnated with resin or anything, but it's resin adjacent. It gets hard. You can meme that one later. Uh, it it goes on. The stuff that I have is shine. I don't know if they have a like a semi gloss in that. They have another product that has a satin. The Halcyon is shiny, but it's damn near bulletproof, man. And it's the only thing that I found that will consistently go on to char. And after it's on the char, if you rub your hand over it, like it doesn't come off in your hand. And then in the last video, that's what I used on the doors. And then I even cut through it and went into paint and then went back over that. The stuff is amazing. It's indoor, outdoor. It is low VOC. It does not have like a crazy nasty scent. It comes in those squishy containers. Here, let me grab one. Since they sent me a bunch. It comes in a container like this, like squishy, so you can literally just take the top off and pour out what you need, and then put the top back on. So you don't worry. It's like you don't have a bunch of like excess. You don't have a bunch of waste, and literally you can pour it back in there if you want to. If you don't contaminate it, I always contaminate it. Let's see. Oh, hey, Paul is here. He's still here. Let's see. So, Doggo, did I answer your question? It is. It's varnish is what it is, but it's boat varnish. I dig it, Derek. Oh, excuse me. So is Mixall the name of the company? I'm just not familiar with it. Yeah, Derek, I agree with Chad. The green dyes and even stains for that matter are really all over the place. Again, Joe, that's what it looks like. So, Doggo, it ain't cheap. But here's the deal. What I found with finishes is you pay a little bit more money for finishes. I want to say this is what is this? How does this not say? Oh, it is a quart. This is a quart, and I want to say it's like $30. You also don't use as much as you do with some others. So, just want to say that. That's awesome, Stephanie. You should again? Yeah. Um Here, I'm just going to hold it up while I address Stephanie here. So Stephanie, if you haven't already, stop by our Discord and share some pictures. I'd love to see them. And if you are not interested in going to the Discord, email me at nick@builddadbuild.com and send me the pictures over there because I'd still like to see them. So Joe, if you've never ordered from Total Boat before, email me before you do because I can get you 20% off your first offer, your first order. Let's see. Yeah, Celine, I have that issue too with getting the colors right. You know what I have an issue with that everybody told me I would love is unicorn spit. I have a hard time getting colors to nail on that one. All right, let me see here. Right, doggo. No, I mean I just I understand that some people for some people it's expensive, and the thing is like honestly, people like, do are you repping that because you have a relationship with Total Boat? And to be perfectly honest with you, I do have a relationship with Total Boat. I they occasionally send me some free stuff. Like they don't pay me to say anything. And to be even more honest with you, I probably would have never tried that product had they not sent it to me because I ordered some epoxy from them and they sent that with it. But that stuff's amazing. And I will, if I ever fall out of my good graces with them, I will still buy it from them. Let's see. Matt, if are you talking about Total Boat? Definitely go to that. Those guys they know their stuff. And here's the other deal with Total Boat. Total Boat's the only epoxy company I've really dealt with. But I had an issue with some epoxy, and I called their customer service line, and we kind of came to the conclusion that the reason the epoxy was screwed up was because I had contaminated it somehow. We couldn't prove it, but that was kind of the conclusion we came to. And they still sent me out like they replaced the product for free. So their customer service is like on point too. Which to me, like I will pay more money for a product if your customer service is on point. Let's see. Sorry, I'm missing something now. So Celine, what flags are you doing that you're using green on? Yeah, Jeff. Like I said, if you've never ordered from me before, drop me an email. Okay, so they changed my promo code, and I can't remember off the top of my head. Um, but shoot me an email and I'll get you the promo code. It's 20% off, like your first order. I think no matter what you order. Let's see. Okay, so somebody asked. I don't know if they're here. Um, what is what is the baby head on the wall? So in some of my earlier videos, and you'll actually see them more. I just sometimes I just get into my project and I kind of forget. Um, but I have this like creepy little doll head, and it came in a horror like a horror subscription box. My wife and I are really into like horror movies and stuff, and go to horror conventions and whatnot. And horror, not horror, by the way. Somebody's gonna say it. Um, and for a while, I was subscribed to a box that I'm trying to remember the name of. They've gone out of business now, and that was one of the things they sent. So, if anybody wants to send me like crazy little horror things, I will definitely put them in videos. Okay, so wait a second. I'm lost now. See, I go in to answer questions and then I get lost. I'm something. Uh, so Joe, not always. A lot of times I just use I just use the gray brush, which is like the equivalent of like 80 grit. Sometimes if I'm not getting the contrast I want, or if I need some more midtones, I will use the orange, which is like 120. And I don't think I ever used the blue one. Okay, so Brazilian flags would totally make sense. Italian and Irish makes sense too. Okay. Let's see. I just made a flag for a neighbor. The green cancer. Pierce, I will. I like. I'm so sold on wood dyes now over even tinted stains, because basically a tinted stain is just, I mean it's a clear base with paint pigment in it. Um, and like the dyes just like they don't stink, like you don't have that deal. They absorb a lot faster. They're a lot easier to deal with. They're usually a lot easier to clean up. Let's see. And like I said on YouTube, wood burning. So what is the best, cheapest wood dyes to use? Okay, so Ed, we were talking about this earlier. Right now, if you go to Michael's, there is some wood dye they're selling there. It's on clearance, so you can't find it at all the Michaels, but it's called Folk Art Ultra Dye, and it's right now it's on clearance at the Michaels for like $2 a bottle. It's a little bottle, but there's no mixing involved. Like you can just literally go straight out of the bottle onto the wood. So it's the easiest thing to work with. If you want to get a little bit more sophisticated and deal with like mixing ratios and having to like heat your water up or use denatured alcohol or something like that, the second best would be what's called Kita wood dye, and they have powders and liquids. They're a little bit more expensive. Uh, the richness of the color does you can tell a bit of a difference, but for your money, man, that folk art, if you can find it, is to me is the best. To me is the best because you know what, you might lose like a tiny iota of clarity in your wood, but just the ease of working with it like brings that it like makes that go away. Oh, Derek, I was like, what's ED3? And then you said 3D printer, and I was like, oh yeah, something I've never done anything with. All right, Chad, take it easy, bud. So Joe, two things: you're either not burning it enough, or you're not brushing it enough. What I find is a lot of people don't burn it deep enough, and so you never. So if you slightly burn it, you wind up with this kind of brown color, right? if you really deeply burn the wood, what you end up doing is like at a certain point the heat kind of severs the wood fibers, and then when you brush that char off, you'll have like a white wood, or like a pine, like a yellow wood underneath it that you can really see. um in my experience, most of the time people are not burning deep enough. So Casey, what I use most often is a an upcut spiral bit, and the reason I use that on my like that's what I use on my router too when I do lettering and stuff. And basically, that's kind of the same bit that they put into like a CNC, because you can go any direction with it, so you don't have to worry as much about direction. And that works so much better when you're doing lettering, because that way you don't have to worry about like, oh wait, am I going left or right? What am I doing? What am I doing? Oh wow. Oh, Derek, that's cool. I never really thought about using a 3D printer to make jigs. I have the most ghetto jig system always. Like, I'm just like, oh, 2x4. Can I screw it into this? Okay, jig it is. Like, my jigs are never pretty. Let's see. So how many of your neighbors know you're a YouTube superstar? Doggo, like two, and the only reason is because there was a making it had a an episode where they talked about like it's really good to get to know your neighbors, because you spend a lot of time in your shop by yourself with possible things that could kill you. And so I have talked to a couple neighbors, just like, hey, if you don't see me around for a couple days, maybe come check on me or something. Um, so Doggo, I don't get as many funny looks as I would think. I've literally been standing out on my driveway, torch in hand, and my welding goggles on that are unnecessary, uh, like just burning the shit out of something. And my neighbors walk by and don't say anything. I don't know if they're afraid. I would see, if it was me, I would totally be like walking up and going, "What are you doing?" Pierce, if I did that, you would understand my pain. Actually, that's a really good idea. I like it. I am getting ready to do like a kind of like Shoshugi Bond 2020 what I've learned video kind of thing, because in my original my first one that is like done like a million views and everything, there's stuff I've learned since then, and people ask on that video, and I'm always referring them to a newer video. So I kind of want to like try to redo that and see if I can mitigate some of that. Um, I don't know if I would put that length in there. Honestly, the burning is not the burning doesn't take that long. It really doesn't. What takes the longest is the brushing, and that's right up there with sanding. I always say nobody wants to watch you sand. Well, nobody wants me to watch me brush a piece of wood, because that's where a little bit of the art comes in. And if I do that Shishigi video, well, I will do the Shishigi video. When I do that, I will address that, because the thing is, a lot of people are like, well, I don't know if I'm burning it right, blah, blah, blah. And I know I just told Joe, like, you're not burning it deep enough. But here's the deal. When you're burned into it like a deep char, and then you're taking it all off, and you want to get that crazy, like, that deep, like, texture and everything in there, the art is in how you brush it all out. It really is. It's how long you hold that brush here, and you don't hold it here as much, because you want to get a better contrast and things like that. And that's something that I've never addressed, only because it's kind of hard to explain. But that will be in the new video. I've now talked too long and not read as much, so I'm like kind of back. Let's see. Yeah, the garage is always open because it gets hot in there, and like the lighting's horrible and everything echoes. So to address what Doggo's talking about, like the light burn technique. So what people don't realize is if you want to do light burn, still use a big torch. Because the thing is, you're not going to use the torch very long, but you can get a more even coverage over a board faster than if you're using a little torch. I started out using a little torch on everything, and that sucked. Yeah, so Doggo, man, I'm telling you, if I can find if this brush and the angle grinder thing works, it's gonna change my life again. Derek, here's the deal. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I moved closer to the equator so I didn't have to deal with that shit. I do not like cold at all. 40 degrees is horrible. Peeling boys. So Ed, I don't like. I've used linseed oil in the past. The only thing with that is be very careful with. That's the kind of I don't know if you've ever heard that the reason people don't use it more is because if you leave like shop rags laying around and stuff, that stuff can spontaneously combust. So if you use it, make sure you take your shop rags, lay them out flat, and like lay them in the sun or something, so they're not. If they're wadded up, they can like. There's some sort of chemical reaction that can. The problem is a lot of people will like wipe it on, throw it in their trash can, and they get two or three wadded up rags in there, and their trash can will catch on fire. So just be careful. Um, I did a workbench with burnt linseed or with boiled linseed oil, and it was beautiful, and I loved it. I have no problem with it. It's just a thing. Yeah, Derek, I gotta figure something out on that. I only use so honestly, I only use my little torch anymore for like a touch up. I never use my little torch for anything anymore. And I used to, yeah, I mean, I used to do full projects with it. Excuse me. Yeah, doggo, that's either gonna go good or bad. I'm kind of curious because it says that you should use it with a grinder that doesn't go over like 8,000 RPMs, and mine's like 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 12,000. So it could be like skinning a cat on speed dial. I'm sorry, Pierce, you melt silver. Wait a second. Sorry, using my maps. Okay, so Pierce, that thank you for saying that because that's another thing that I see people do a lot and it drives me kind of nuts. Um, Not that Pierce. I like melt all the silver you want with map. Map gas burns really hot, and so if you use a map torch on like when you're trying to do like shoshugiban, if you don't know what you're doing, you're not really careful, you're really gonna warp the shit out of everything. Um, a propane burns at like a lower heat, and it's a lot easier to work with, in my opinion. Yeah, Ed, dude, I honestly I used to have the thing memorized and they changed it, and I just can't remember. I think it's like I don't even want to say it because I don't want to get it wrong. Either email me or I did change it on the Discord. If you go to Discord, there is a uh, an affiliates uh, channel in there, and I did change it in there. So if you're on Discord, it's the correct one is in there. Yes, doggo, come on, man. Let's see. Tip I've taken since. True. The other thing, Joe, is if you sand wood before you dye it, it takes wood better. Like it takes dye better. So if you go out, like a lot of people don't understand that. Like if you go out and buy like if you go out and buy like a 1x6 from the deepers, it's it's smooth already, right? So a lot of people think, oh well, I don't need to sand this. Well, if you sand it, you open up that grain just enough to where it'll like actually take the dye. So it's always a consideration. The same goes for, and like I even notice it in this next video coming up. Shit. So I have two videos coming out. One of them is just going to be a like how to use the Craig jig video. The other one is going to be the bottle openers. And if you look at the red on the excuse me, if you look at the red on if you look at the red dye on the wood on that bottle opener, it's a lot lighter than that deep red that I get in a lot of my videos, and that's because I did not sand that piece of wood prior to burning it, and it did not burn it very deep. When I take that brush to it, that's the equivalent of sanding it, right? So you brush it down, you take all that char off, you for lack of a better term, you mutilate all of the wood fibers, and you get them all ready for dye. So they'll take it a lot deeper. You can meme that one too. I put the brushes on my lathe. You put the brushes on your lathe. That's awesome. Let's see. Yes, I had. Well, and I mean, like I said, map is not bad. It's just it's in my opinion, it's harder to work with. Okay. I'm trying to do questions at the same time. Okay, so this was one that I really wanted to address because actually I have two that I really want to address. I don't know if I'm going to get your flux capacitor one, doggo. But one of the questions was asked was, Nick, of all your builds, which do you consider your most challenging, your biggest failure, and your favorite one? And those are not all the same video. So let me see. So the most challenging is hard because the most challenging is almost always my next video. Unless I'm doing like a tutorial video, like unless I'm doing like this is how you stain wood or this is how you burn wood. If I'm building something, I've probably never built that before. So challenging becomes relative when you put it like that. So I guess to get a little bit more introspective on that, the most challenging build I've had so far, for many reasons, was those damn coasters, man. And here's why. I had so many issues with the epoxy not setting right. And that's what I mentioned earlier, right? That was when I contacted Total Boat and they're like, you probably contaminated it. We're going to send you out new stuff. But even after that, I was trying to burn. Originally, I wanted to burn a piece of wood, scrape it, and then submerge it into epoxy and make that a coaster. And I had so many issues with either the piece of wood would float and then it would be sticking out of the back of the coaster so it wasn't quite flush, or I would clamp it down and then it pushed it too hard into the mold and so it stuck out the front. And there was just so many of those. And so I sat down, and this is the second part of it. This is where it gets stupid. Joe, you gotta email me on that one too. It's I think it's Maker 15. It's Maker 15 and Maker 25. Maker 25 will get you 25% off of like bigger items, and Maker 15 will get you 15% off smaller items, but I can't remember those items off the top of my head. Anyway, Jeff, take it easy, brother. I'm sorry. I'm kind of glancing as I'm talking. Hey, what's up, zombie? And then when I was editing the video and I brought it up in the actual video was I was literally sitting at my computer editing that video when my mom called and said that my dad had died. And So I didn't realize it at first, but like there was like this weird thing going on where I was just like avoiding doing that video for any reason because every time I would like jump into Premiere and start to edit that video, like I would come up with some excuse on why I didn't want to do it. And it was because of that. It didn't occur to me at first, and then I kind of figured it out. Anyway, so that was I would say that was the most challenging for a lot of different reasons. My biggest failure is you. So my biggest failure is a toss up. The biggest visual failure is the black and white Shishugabun flag where I just totally screwed up and put the stars on upside down. Thanks, Antonio. Appreciate it, brother. Uh, but my biggest failure video to me is the one I think it was like the second video I did where I tried to do like a little shelf deal, kind of similar to like the IKEA deal with like just the little cubes. And I bought a doweling jig, and I don't know. Like I go back and I look at that, and I'm like, I don't know what I was thinking. The way I built that thing was ridiculous. And when I got done with it, like my measurements were all off, and it was not looking good. And I ended up going back and like doing a like a face all the way around it to kind of like hide all the errors. And the things in our closet, like my wife's got some clothes in it and stuff like that, but like it doesn't go any. It stays in the closet because it's that bad. And then, so my favorite, I don't know, like favorites are so hard. They're like your children. Um, I would say my favorite video is the art piece, like the piece that I just got to like go to town on and just carve up and go crazy. And the reason that's my favorite is because there's no rhyme or reason to it. There was no like it has to be this, it has to be this measurement, whatnot. Like everything was like just like this complete like exploration of what I could do with a couple of tools. All right, Matt, take it easy, brother. I think these are long and boring, but if you want to, that like you can always go back and watch the rest of this. Um, I keep them posted for a little bit. Sometimes if I ever take one down, it's because I'm trying to watch my metrics on a video. I wish YouTube would like separate live streams from actual videos because the thing is, until I put up another video, I will only get stats on this. Yeah, Antonio, like it is the temperature window is no joke. Like it kills me on how specific you have to be with that. Other than that, it's really easy to work with. I think it's easier than I thought it would be. Okay, so let me see. We did editing. We're not doing that one because the other Nico is not here. Um, yeah, Antonio. So I had it in my house, but I had it in like on the second floor, and that's before I built the office up here. So I kept the thermostat down at like 64 degrees, and they're like, "Oh yeah, if you're working at 64 degrees, that's too low." And I was like, "But it was like climate controlled in the house. It wasn't in the garage anyway." But yeah, it was too cold. Let's see. So doggo again, man. Actually, let me address these other two questions first because they're really quick. Okay, one, somebody asked me, and okay, so there's two questions that were on Instagram that I lost, and so I'm going by memory. Somebody asked me if I've ever thought about working with mica powder. Um, if you want to be more specific, like like was there a particular use that you were thinking of? Because I have worked with mica powder before. Any of my epoxy pours, I've used epoxy. I've used mica powder as the tint. So I have used it. I like it, but I'm not sure if if there was something more specific that was being asked there. If there was, if you want to like shoot me a DM, it was on Instagram. So shoot me a DM and I can absolutely answer that for you. Um, the other one is, have you ever shit in a 5-gallon bucket? And the answer is yes. And then the further to that is, if you haven't, you haven't lived, sir. Doggo, it's fine, man. I'm just giving you shit. Okay, but yeah, this is my wheelhouse. This is the things that I like to address. So I just want to get those two out of the way first, and I'm gonna read this one real quick. So Ed, if you want to do like, if you want to get something, you want to, like, if you want to like straight up like ebonize it, if you want it to just turn straight black, use something more like poplar or oak, like a hardwood that has kind of a tight grain pattern, and that stuff a lot of times will just turn black. Poplar, especially. I just found this out recently. I didn't know that poplar, like as the tree grows, it sheds its limbs. So poplar is like very often doesn't have like hardly, it has uh, it hardly has any knots in it, because instead of like the tree growing up around a limb, the limb just falls off. Uh, so what I would do is I would use something like poplar. I would char it and I would seal it, and then you can wash it fine, and you don't have to scrape it. Keith, did you just retract a message? Uh, Stephanie, like I said, just email me, Nick at buildthatbuild.com, and just remind me, and I'll send the promo code to you. Or if you have the link to the Discord, hit that up, and it's in there. Either way, but like I just I no like I had the thing memorized. It was BDB 20 like 2019, but they changed it on me. Pierce, no. I live in Houston, man. Like we don't have fireplaces here. Um, I I I I would, but I don't have a fireplace. All right, Antonio. Try all my builds. If you have any issues, let me know. And join us on Discord if you want to BS further on them. Patriot. Okay, that was you. I was like, I was hoping you were here. I was hoping whoever asked that question was here. Um, I always have issues. Keith, when is? Oh man, there's a movie coming out this Friday the 13th. I will always try to, unless it sneaks up on me. Can anybody tell me without looking at a calendar when Friday the 13th is this year? Don't say it's this week. It's not this week, is it? Or this month, I guess. I so if you guys haven't checked out Big Hush on YouTube, he does these crazy videos where he like does different like Jason from Friday the 13th masks, and I love his stuff, man. I love his stuff. I wish I could be as creative as that dude. So I will always try to I'll always try to hit holidays like that. I just don't always I don't always get there. Let's see. So Mike, the biggest difference I with that stuff, one, like polyacrylic is fine. But polyacrylic is like super high VOC. Well, I shouldn't say super high VOC. I don't want to be mean to the guys, but it's stinky. All right. Um, Total Boat has like hardly. Is it really next Friday or next week? Shit. Um. So probably not. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe. Oh, damn it. See, my wife's birthday's next week too. Uh, I'm sorry. So Mike, so polyacrylic is fine. I like things. I like most things to be low VOC if I can, because that stuff like really messes with my head. And so working with Total Boat, I can work. So let me put it this way: if I'm working with a project, I'm using polyacrylic, and I have the garage doors closed, like I have to open them to apply that finish. If I'm working with I totally forgot. If I'm working with the Halcyon, I don't. The Halcyon has like a very subtle, like it kind of smells like. You mean this one too? It kind of smells like nuts. It has like a kind of a like a walnut smell to it. You'll either get it or you won't. Um, Son of a bitch. Sorry, I'm reading that Friday the 13th is coming up, and I totally didn't know that. Ah, I'm mad now. But low VOC, Mike. So low VOC, and it's super durable. And polyacrylic versus the Halcyon, I would say that like 2 coats of Halcyon is equal to 4 coats of polyacrylic. And um, the Halcyon, you can reapply a second coat in like an hour. It's amazing. It's the miracle thing. This is gonna make me grow like a third ball because it's so amazing that I'm just like, oh yeah, dude, like everybody should use it. Okay, well, I gotta figure something out now. All right, but okay, so Doggo, I wanted to like I need to address this question. So you said you mentioned dealing with depression a lot, but have you dealt with creator burnout yet? I asked because it's pretty rough, and I've been doing YouTube for 6 years now on a second channel, and the burnout cycle is really hard and depressing to deal with. You just keep asking yourself, like, what the fuck am I doing? So I've not dealt with this yet, but I have on so many occasions asked myself, what the fuck am I doing? And here's why. I currently am not, like, I don't know if you guys know, but like I'm not really making any money doing this right now. Like I like between materials and everything, like it is not a lucrative business. And I used to make a lot of money. You know, I've worked for a company and made pretty good scratch. I had some health issues, and my wife and I talked about it, and I ended up quitting my job to do this. And like when I initially did that, it was it was like, what the fuck did I do? Like this is a horrible idea. Uh but I weekly, I won't say daily, weekly, sometimes several times a day, sometimes once a week, but I get messages from you guys, from different people that are like, hey, like I watched one of your videos and it really inspired me to like go out and like go out in the garage and build something. Or, hey, like I'm a stay at home dad and like this gives me something else to do. And that right there, regardless of my paycheck, like makes all the difference between what I used to do and what I do now. And so, I mean, honestly, that being said, like reality check, my wife makes a decent amount of money. And so like and before I quit my job, I saved a lot of money. Um but it's those people that say that I'm helping them out. That's when I'm like, I realize why people don't necessarily like do a job for like a lot of cash. Now, I'm not saying I'm not like out there trying to get some sponsors and whatnot, but um, that that right there is what drives me. So I don't know if I don't know if that answers your question because I haven't been there yet. But my depression has been like almost nothing since I quit my job and started doing something where I felt like I was actually helping people. And I mean, as far as that shit goes, I guess it depends on what you get out of it. Because really, I like when I started doing YouTube videos, I was like, I'm gonna be famous. I'm gonna be YouTube famous, man. This is what I'm gonna do, make a lot of money. And then people started, and that obviously wasn't the thing. And then I just kept doing it because I kind of like doing it. And then people started reaching out to me, and then that right there told me what I really should be doing. I should be catering to the people that are watching the videos because the inspiration is there. I mean, I can't show you how to build the best cabinet, but I can show you that, you know what? I can build a cabinet that works. And if I can build a cabinet that works, like, you know, you can probably build a better one. So Doggo, like the game plan was not to do that, by the way. Let's see. I feel like I'm losing the folks. Um, because I'm not reading. Are you going to drop a badass video on Friday the 13th? Well, apparently now I have to. I'll figure something out. I'm ahead on my videos. I'll see what I can do. I'll see what I can put together. Um, maybe nothing, Pierce. I don't know. So Doggo, I didn't want to quit my job. Well, okay. Who doesn't want to quit their job? I shouldn't say that. Um, so there was a lot of things that came into play. Like I had a game plan for like how many followers I wanted to have before I quit my job, and I had a game plan for how much money I wanted to have in the bank before I quit my job, and all of these things. And I started like getting really sick, and I'm the new Steve Ramsey. That's great. Is well since he like flipped out on YouTube, I'll take his spot. Um, and I started I started having like a lot of health problems, and I went to a bunch of doctors, and the doctors said everything was fine. And I said it might be stress, and so my wife and I had a long talk about like, hey man, this might be a thing, like this your job may be doing this to you. And the day I quit my job was the day that I realized that was what was the horrible thing in my life. And I know like everybody's like I almost hate to say that to some people because like not everybody can like just up and quit their job. And like I said, I'm fortunate that my wife makes good money. We saved a decent amount of money. Um, you know, all of that stuff. I'm fortunate that I had, a couple of videos that did really well, but I just like I still need to make money. I need to make this work better than it does right now because like I said, I barely pay for materials as it is. But the man, if you read the messages I get, you couldn't. I'm getting like slightly misty here just thinking about it. You would know. You would know what I know. You would know that I know that I have to do this. That's awesome, Mike. I so I that's I mean that is that's definitely another thing. So Mike said he's a stay-at-home dad, and I mean I guess technically I'm a stay-at-home dad too, right? Just the fact that I get to like see my kids more is pretty awesome too. It's just I don't know. If you guys don't have kids, you don't know. And you know what? Like until I had kids, Like I didn't understand it either. All right, Doggo, I'm answering your question. Your flux capacitor question. So Doggo's question was, which piece of technology would you rather have from the future and why? A flux capacitor or an arc reactor? And I would say an arc reactor. And here's why. Because I think you should never fuck with the past. I think about this like ad nauseum, and it's probably unhealthily so. But I always think of stuff like this. My thanks, Patriot. I appreciate it. Sure. Um, I think, and keep it weird. Keep it weird, buddy. Keep it weird. You're not in Austin, are you? Um, I always think about this. Okay, so when I was in high school, I wanted to take a year off before I went to college, and my older brother told my parents that like if I did that, I would never go to college. So they forced me to go to college. So I went to college, and like I hated it, and I spent all the money they sent me on booze and partied like a rock star, and eventually failed out. But if I had not done that, I would not have met my wife. And I love my wife. Love her so much. And if I had not met my wife, I would not have the kids that I have. And I love my kids so much. So anytime that anybody asks me if I would do anything different in the past, my answer is no. um, because like I think you'd fuck up all your outcomes, and I don't want to do that. Like I'm one of the fortunate people that like has like a wife that is like super awesome. So like if I had taken that year off, I might not have gone to the same school. Even if I did go to the same school, maybe I would have never run into her at a party. You know, I mean, there's all sorts of shit. And so I just like there's too many variables to fuck with. So arc reactor, wow. I was gonna say arc reactor, motherfucker. Um, because yeah, man, I want to fly like Iron Man. All right, Ed, man, take it easy. Appreciate you stopping by, my brother. Head on by Discord if you want to chat further. Keep it weird. The cookie cutter stuff. So many dude, it's boring. Um, uh, Patriot, man, that's what it's about, right? It's you got to be a little stupid, or in my case, a lot stupid. But yeah, man. I mean, I, I don't want to say any names because I don't want to like because I think they still do great work, but there's a lot of guys out there that build stuff now that I feel like I've learned some from, but I don't watch them anymore because I don't really feel like they're excuse me. I don't really feel like they're building anything new, or they're building like weird out there stuff, which I may do, but I don't feel like I get as much out of their videos, and part of it is that personality, right? I mean, I will watch your videos even if you're doing something that's not necessarily as interesting to me if I want to watch you for you. Yeah, doggo. It definitely helps, man. And it kind of sucks cuz I feel like a lot of people don't ever find that girl or that soulmate, I shouldn't say that. Casey, so you um, you burn it. And I'm not even saying that like to be funny. Uh, if you want to strip paint off of anything, so okay, if you have like if everything is like straight flat boards, then I mean use like a paint stripper or something. But if you're talking about anything that has like curves and designs on it or whatnot, take a torch to it. Don't so you're not going for like a deep crazy burn, right? You just want to like you want to heat it up enough to get the paint to kind of like start like peeling and start kind of like curling a little bit, and take a wire brush to it. You're going to end up sanding more, but you're going to end up having to scrape all those little areas less. Doggo, yeah, I feel like yeah, I don't know. I'm so polarized on like I think that marriage is a very antiquated idea, and I'm very happy that I'm married to my wife. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it's I kind of get the new mentality, and I'm very happy that I'm old school. All right, guys, I'm gonna take like one or two more questions, and then I'm gonna get off here because my wife is gonna run a race tomorrow, like a half marathon, and I want to spend a little time with her before she goes. Um, so yeah, so Casey, honestly, yeah, like take a torch to it, and you know what, like, what do you? Let me ask you this: what are you trying to do, to this piece of furniture? What is it like? What is the piece of furniture? Let's do that. Let's talk to Casey for a second, and then I'm out. Awesome, Ed. I appreciate it, brother. That's what I'm here for. I'm not here to show you how to do it. I'm here to show you how I do it so you can do it better. Okay, cool, Pierce. Um, so so Pierce and everybody here, um, I try to answer like all comments and emails and everything during the week at like as fast as I can. On the weekends, a lot of times I'm spending time with my wife and my kids. So if I can, like, if I get some time, I will email you. Um, if not, it'll be Monday. So, and that's just across the board. Like part of the thing was I quit my job so I could spend time with my kids on the weekends and work in the shop during the week. But Pierce, I will definitely, I think I'll definitely get back to you. I'm just letting you know. Well, good, Derek. That's how we do. Um. So yeah, I didn't even I didn't even know what Shishuggy Bomb was when I started doing it. Like I found that out after the fact, and then I was really scared to use the word Shishuggy Bomb because so many people were like, "Oh, that's not Shishuggy Bomb," blah blah blah. And then I'm like, you know what? I feel like I have like enough of a grasp on the concept that I can argue with that. I can argue with you about that now. So Casey, you still there? I appreciate it, Pierce. And Pierce, honestly, like the kids have a party tomorrow that I don't think I'm gonna be going to, so I will probably answer you tomorrow. But I'm just letting you know. Like that's my one thing. Like I drop off of like if you follow me on Instagram, I am super active until like Friday night, and then you will see me drop off. And if I post on the weekend, it's only because like I just like stepped on the shop or something. I you know I made decisions in my life, and one of them was to spend as much time as my kids on the weekends as I could. All right. So, did we lose Casey? Does anybody have like a question before I'm out? Oh, thanks, beautiful adventures. Yeah. That is why I'm here. I really just want to inspire anybody to work with their hands. I feel like I was raised in an environment where it's like you need to like go to like college to learn how to like live in a work in a cubicle. And no, like everybody needs to work with their hands. I'm not saying that like cubicle work doesn't need to get done and all that stuff, but doggo, you're fine. Uh, but I think everybody needs to touch things and make things with their hands. It's a primal thing that we're like getting away from, and I don't like it. So, beautiful adventures, we will adventure on into that. Wow, was that really loud for you guys too, or is it just my computer's going crazy? Okay, guys. I am going to. Yeah, absolutely, Keith. Um, see you Friday. Damn it! Now I got to do something. Yeah. I think I think I'm gonna go. It's been 2 hours, and I think Casey might have dipped out. So, guys, I appreciate you guys being here. Definitely head over to Discord. Uh, we we wrap a lot in there. I am in there. I'm kind of sitting in there a lot, kind of waiting for questions, and then I like Dago and Nico, like my moderators, are in there a lot of times when I'm not. Um, Everybody's very knowledgeable, and we have several other people that are in there too that are very knowledgeable as well. So, like, questions get asked and questions get answered very quickly. So Pierce, if you're using like just like paint stripper in general is fine if you're just going on flat surfaces. Like it's literally like something you put on there, you let it sit for a little bit, and then you scrape it off. Anything that has any sort of like crazy curves or anything to it, you're never gonna get all that paint off. So the easiest way to do it is to like hit it with a torch, get in there, and scrape it off. Mm. Doggo, can you pull a Discord link? I do not have Discord up on this computer. Or do I have to do it? Let's see. M. Um, I very rarely sand before I burn. It would be like a. I think what you're talking about is I said that I burnt something that was like straight out of the box, like a like a 1x6 or something like that, and I was going for a surface burn, so I did not sand it at all. Thanks, Patriot. Yeah, she just like because my wife's crazy. She just like picked up somebody else's run because they weren't going to be there. Cheers, beautiful. Pierce, I don't off the top of my head. I really don't use like any sort of paint stripper most of the time, but they all do the same thing. I mean, like literally. Oh shit. You should definitely so you should definitely either sand or brush before you dye. That just opens all the fibers up to take it. Doggo, like I'm not seeing it at all. Um, we'll uh we'll figure out a way to like dump it in here next time. The sad thing is like I just like my laptop sitting over here with Discord running, and I just didn't want to have it running on here because like last time it like sped up my GPU. So all right, I guess we answered Casey's questions. All right, guys. So until next time, thanks for playing. We'll see you out there. And if anybody has any questions that I didn't get to, feel free to email me at nick@buildthatbuild.com or hit me up on Instagram at buildthatbuild. Uh, I'm usually a little easier, a little faster to reply to Instagram. Just FYI. All right, doggo. So we'll just we'll get you guys like in here as mods so you can post links. All right. And that being said, I'm out. Love you.